Back at it again, baby, and we got one with Candace Owens. Let's dive in.
Look back at your ancestors. Look back at your grandparents. Look back at what they did, what they lived through, the seeds that they planted so that you can afford to be in the circumstance that you are in today. If you are a Black American and you are breathing in the United States today, you are the luckiest, among the luckiest of Black people that have ever lived anywhere on the face of the planet. That is an incredible statement. All of human history, the luckiest Black people that have ever lived on the face of the human planet are the ones that are living and breathing in America today, okay? If you understand that, and you should understand it by simply saying, where would you like to live in Africa? For all that hoopla about they took us from Africa, find me a Black American that will tell you they want to move back to Africa. I will listen right now.
Or Europe. Why is it no?
I'll book the flights for them. Right? For any person that says we were stolen from our ancestors, I, Candace Owens, am pledging that I will book the flights if you renounce your U.S. citizenship for you to go live back in Africa.
To refute that, I personally know someone who actually, well, technically he wasn't born in America, but he came over to America, came to school here, went to high school, went to college here, and eventually moved back to Africa where he is currently living and honestly flourishing, truly. I mean, the guy's got crazy money. It's ridiculous, but that's just one example. I know. I got to play devil's advocate a little bit here, you know, a little bit.
All right, so speaking of books, I don't have a copy of Blackout here
Don't.
because the galleys have not arrived yet.
They have not arrived.
The galleys are on the way. I know that a lot of what we discussed here, obviously, is what Blackout is about. But what maybe did I miss, or should we hit on, or whatever else?
You know, so Blackout for me, I really wanted to first and foremost lay out my personal story. There's been a lot of conjecture about where I came from, how I became conservative. Is she a fraudulent conservative? And all of that craziness, because people don't realize that I just was apolitical, if anything else.
So to be clear, you're not some sort of secret agent.
No, remember, you really have been there through all of it.
I've been there since the beginning.
I mean, the YouTubers, like, digesting my entire life, saying, like, she must be a plant, like, I mean, a Soros plant. I'm like, I've never even voted. Like, I literally, prior to getting into things, I genuinely just was not politically inclined. And I just thought I had to be a Democrat and thought I had to be a liberal. And, you know, looking in the retrospect, I realized how foolish that is. You know, that I didn't realize that everything that bad happened in my life was really routed to bad policies and bad politicians. But I wanted to first lay out just my personal story. You know, the subtitle of the book is How Black America Can Make Its Second Escape from the Democrat Plantations. And I do believe, I say this all the time, people get upset, that Black Americans are still enslaved today, that the left just got smarter and they realized that you can't enslave people, their bodies. You can't have Black Americans on the plantation anymore, but you can still have Black Americans doing all of the work for you and reaping no benefit. And that is a structure that we see today between Black America and the Democrat Party. We are doing all of the work, we carry them over the finish line, and we benefit not in one single way. And so I really kind of lay out that argument and talk about what...
That's very, very interesting. And I do think a lot of Black people do vote Democrat. I stand to be corrected on that. If there's a statistic or a stat that refutes that, please comment it below. But as far as I remember seeing, I do believe most Black people do vote Democrat. And yeah, that's an interesting statement. Do all the work with little to no results in return. I would love to see somebody debate that. Because honestly, listen, I'm not the biggest when it comes to policies and things of that nature. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know it all, because honestly, I don't. You know, I'm learning as I'm watching these videos, just as some of you guys are. Yeah, if there's someone who is knowledgeable on policies and all that kind of stuff, please comment below. You guys know I read through the comment section daily, as I'm sure some of you guys have found out, because I've gone through and like some comments, even some comments that have been 2-3 days old or older, you know, have probably gotten a like. So yeah, I always read through the comment section. So please comment below and let me know. And don't be biased. Like, let's be fair in the comment section. If somebody did something right, let's comment it. You know, y'all know how it goes. Let's be fair in the comment section. All right, that's what we all about, fairness. I don't care about anything else. Let's rock.
Single way. And so I really kind of lay out that argument and talk about what slave life was really like, the breakdown of family, why it was necessary for families to be broken down, to trade, constantly be trading slaves from one plantation to the next. They could have no feelings for one another. Frederick Douglass, in his autobiography, the first couple of pages, he starts talking about his life as a slave. He talks about the fact that when his mother died, he felt nothing. When his sisters were traded, he felt nothing. He had no sense of kinship, no familial love for his own blood. That was necessary to the institution of slavery. We still have that kinship and that relationship and that community still broken down all of these years later, despite the Reconstruction era post-slavery, which we saw Black American families getting back together. We were doing something. It's all been wiped away.
At a higher rate, by the way, until about 72 or so.
Yeah, in the 1950s, Black Americans were outpacing whites in terms of economic growth. And then immediately following, the 1960s and the Great Society Act and the systemic oppression, which started via the welfare system, everything started falling apart. Reading, another...
I liked what one of you guys said in the comment section. You guys can let me know if you agree. But one of you guys had mentioned the welfare system should be temporary and not permanent. We should give people a set date as far as when their welfare ends and kind of do it that way. Now, obviously, if somebody has a major disability or something, then that's a little bit different. If somebody's like a quadriplegic or something, of course they're going to need some kind of assistance, or because I mentioned before that I've seen some BS happening with some of these government assistant programs, and it needs to be fixed, in my humble opinion. Y'all can let me know if you agree or disagree, and let me know if you guys think there should be a time limit on it. Like, hey, we'll give you assistance, but you got 6 months to buy a toilet and a ruler and get your shit straight, so to speak. Let me know in the comment section, please. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Another topic, going back to slavery. Black Americans, it was illegal for Black Americans to learn how to read. In fact, it was so illegal that if you were a white person, you were taught and you were caught teaching your slave to read, you would be found guilty too. It was a serious sin. The reason for that is because they didn't want Black people being educated, because an educated mind can't be enslaved. Well, what's changed? Look at the illiteracy rates in Black America today. Look at Baltimore. Look at the inner cities. Look at, we're in California. California, 70% of Black boys could not pass a basic literacy exam. Nobody is talking about that. You have politicians that are standing on stage saying...
Somebody fact check that, please. Please.
That all they care about is Black Americans. They're not talking about everything that is harming Black Americans today, everything that is recreating the very same plantations that we came from.
Did you catch that brilliant line that Bernie had in one of the debates, which is he's not only so pro-marijuana that he wants it to be legal, but he also wants to have black business owners owning Black marijuana shops in Black communities.
I did not catch that.
And again,
line.
I say this as someone that's pro legalizing weed,
Right.
but like we're going to incentivize Black people to own Black marijuana shops in Black communities.
Right, and that's why I don't celebrate, by the way, why I am conservative on the marijuana front is because when you talk about where this is happening, Chicago, I think, just passed marijuana laws. It is, to me, I know it's going to lead to more dysfunction, amongst Black America first and foremost, because that's how it always is. It's what is it about progressive policies that always leads to progressive results for the Black community first and foremost, and so I am loath to be smart enough to see the debate between alcohol and marijuana, so that I can't firmly say no to marijuana. But I have a thinking brain, and I just don't see how conservatives can make a sound argument against it at the moment.
What else has to happen for...
I like how she said that she can't firmly say no, because I was about to disagree with her. I'm not a smoker personally, but, to each his own. Some people like to drink, including myself. And some people prefer to smoke. Hey, the way that I see it, as long as you're not harming anyone, as long as you're not getting behind the wheel, with whatever your choice is, as long as you're doing it safely, do your thing. But once again, I could be wrong. I stand to be corrected. Let me know how you feel in the comment section.
For the Black community to break. I'm going to guess, although I don't have the book yet, that at the end you either make some predictions or you tell people what tools they need to really break out of this.
Yeah, you know, it's not even about making predictions, and I have my own personal predictions, but I definitely am not doing that in the book. I'm giving Black Americans a guide. I'm giving Black Americans an option, the same option that I saw before me when I started waking up, and I'm having this conversation with you. You can have the option to accept this victim narrative, right? You can have the option to say, I accept this diagnosis of cancer, even though I feel fine, walk fine, and have been living fine my entire life. I accept that it's terminal illness, and I'm going to live like I'm going to die any moment. Or you can develop a different perspective, and you can develop a victor mentality, as I say. Forget the victim mentality, develop a victor mentality. Look back at your ancestors. Look back at your grandparents. Look back at what they did, what they lived through, the seeds that they planted, so that you can afford to be in the circumstance that you are in today. If you are a Black American and you are breathing in the United States today, you are the luckiest, among the luckiest of Black people that have ever lived anywhere on the face of the planet. That is an incredible statement. All of human history, the luckiest Black people that have ever lived on the face of the human planet are the ones that are living and breathing in America today. Okay? If you understand that, and you should understand it by simply saying, where would you like to live in Africa? For all that hoopla about
There's nice places in Africa. There are nice places. I gotta play devil's advocate a little bit here, just a little bit, you know. Now, do I want to move there? No. But there are nice places. There are nice places, and I do want to visit and definitely go see some of those majestic beasts. You know, the lions. I want to go to South Africa where, you know, some of the great white sharks breach out of the water. Anybody that's ever watched Animal Planet knows exactly what I'm talking about. I used to be a nerd and watch the Animal Planet daily and used to love seeing some of those great beasts. And, you know, going to your local zoo, it's just not the same as like seeing them. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a weirdo, but I definitely want to go and see some of those majestic beasts.
they took us from Africa. Find me a Black American that will tell you they want to move back to Africa. I will listen right now.
Or Europe. Why is it no?
I'll book the flights for them. Right? For any person that says we were stolen from our ancestors, I, Candace Owens, am pledging that I will book the flights if you renounce your U.S. citizenship for you to go live back in Africa.
You want to cap this at maybe at 10 people,
Nope.
just in case people
Nope.
are punking
There's
you?
none. There's none. We did this. We did the same craziness with the Trump. I hate America. Everyone offered them money and flights. I think you might have. Don
Yeah, I
Jr. might
offered a
have.
couple.
Nobody took the bait, right? Because they know America is the greatest place they could possibly live. And
You know what? If someone takes you up on this, I'll guarantee one first class upgrade.
That's amazing.
I will do that.
There we go, right here.
I will
One
do that.
first class upgrade
There
to
you
go to
go.
America, but you have to renounce your citizenship to America
Yeah.
and move to Africa. That's really what.
Oh, see. I'm glad she said that there at the end, because I was about to say, hey, hey, I do want to go over there and take a look at some things, So, I'll just take a trip over there and just come right back. I'll just pay for the flight back. So my flight there will be for free. If it's free, it's for me. But she said I got to renounce. Nah, see, can't go that far, buddy.
What you want to do.
If you're looking for more honest
Cannot go that far. So very, very interesting discussion there. I like how she touched on, changing your mindset from a victim's mentality into a victor's mentality. I like that. I got a victor's mentality because honestly, when you really sit down and kind of think about it, there's nothing good that really comes out of the victim's mentality mindset. Nothing. Yeah, were there some victims in the past? Absolutely. I think we can all admit to that. But still, like at a certain point, like I've said in several videos, you got to suit up and lace your boots up. It's wartime. Let's get to work. And like I mentioned before, I always think of the quote from Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher. He said, if somebody pushed you down and I come back a week later and you still laying there, that's a problem. That's a problem. And I feel like that's the same kind of victim's mentality kind of mindset. Somebody pushed me down and I'm just going to lay here for a week until, a group of people come back and help me up. Like, nah, I'm about to get myself up, dust myself off. Yeah, I might have a few scrapes and bruises, but hey, them battle scars, baby. Lesson learned. Yeah, some people may have advantage here, advantage there, but I ain't gonna cry about it. It's the point. There's nothing good that's gonna come from crying about it. Nothing. I'm just gonna suit up and lace my boots up and get to work. Simple and plain. And I think that's the mindset we should all have. But listen, maybe I'm wrong about it all. Once again, y'all let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. And go and join the new Discord server. It's the first link down below. Peace and love. I'm out.